Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of The Guido Goes Off. As always, I thank you folks for watching. I'm going to get right into it, starting with some startling news in regards to Matt Hardy's new Woken gimmick. Of course, as everybody knows, he has started this last episode of Raw. He and Bray Wyatt had a bit of a bantering session going on, and he officially did calling the broken gimmick Woken. Of course, the reason being lawsuits. It's so that way WWE can make money off the Woken gimmick, and if he leaves, he can do the broken thing. But this is in regards to an article from Sports Illustrated stating that Vince McMahon is supposedly riding very high on the Woken Matt Hardy character, so much that he has given the Hardys full creative control over the, I guess now, Woken universe. As we know, in TNA, when he did the broken gimmick, Matt Hardy pretty much did as he pleased with it, bringing in various characters, such as, also bringing in Rebby, his son at the time, Maxwell, Vanguard 1, Senor Benjamin, the Scribe, Skarsgård, and the cavalcade of souls in the petting zoo, whatever the hell that was going on there. I'm not even dead sure on that. So it's not really clear how far he's going to go with this and what's going to happen, but we know that this is great news, as it means he'll be able to do what he wants with the character without impediment. And who knows? Could be bringing in some more of the broken universe into the Woken universe, and could get very interesting, especially starting it off against Bray Wyatt, who's a very interesting character in his own right. And honestly, this could help him as well, because as we know, Bray Wyatt's been kind of spinning his wheels ever since the loss of the WWE Championship earlier this year at WrestleMania. So it'll be good to see where this goes. Could get quite interesting. So yeah. In not so happy news, in fact quite sad news. It was revealed by sources that in the course of Rob Van Dam's current divorce proceedings in Discovery, as far as income relations, it has been revealed that due to medical conditions, Rob Van Dam can no longer compete in World Wrestling Entertainment. It was revealed that due to the number of concussions that he has suffered over the course of his career, the last one led to visual impairment. It's not certain to what degree of visual impairment, but as it stands, it is enough to cause safety concerns for Rob and whoever he's competing against. And so it's because of that WWE would not clear him. I know he's worked in other promotions, so it's not necessarily sure how much this affects that, but WWE is very, very nervous when it comes to concussion issues, and so Rob Van Dam can't make any of that money from being a talent in WWE. And so that is quite a shame. And, of course, the disillusion of his marriage, it's pretty bad, too. No, I'm not going to lie. So, that's, it's horrible, especially as popular as a talent as Rob Van Dam is. Of course, easily, more than likely, will get a spot in the WWE Hall of Fame. So you can get residuals from that. But again, it's sad to see that his marriage is ending and things of that nature. So I don't know where else to go from that. Kitty! Well, more medical issues in the news. This time in regards to Bret Hart. It's was recently reported that Bret Hart is suing um, a suing over for the sum of $1 million over a recent surgery. Um, it was said a surgery due to alleviate some nerve issues in his arm has basically um, it's one of the effects of the surgery has been he cannot use his index finger, the ability to use his index finger and thumb. Um, it's reported it's basically it. He's no longer able to hold a pen or eating utensils. Of course, these are some things that most of us just simply take for granted, because we get, for the ability to feed ourselves, and of course, writing down anything we need to. But as you know, as Bret being a celebrity, it makes autographs almost impossible. So, there's no word yet on when this is going forward, or what if it counters settlements or anything of that nature. And like I said, it's Bret Hart's kind of one of those divisive personalities right now, especially in the world of wrestling. Fans are kind of divided on. I mean, personally, I like him. He's one of my favorite wrestlers. But this is, it's just very simply put. Yes, this impacts not only his daily life, but also how he makes his living, as he's not physically able to wrestle anymore, clearly. And now he can't even sign autographs. So that kind of, really hampers his ability to continue to earn a living. So I'd like to say more on this as it goes, but I don't, it's kind of feel dark. You want to help me out with this one, North? Okay, moving on. Well, moving on, there's been an executive shakeup in Impact Wrestling. Those of you that don't know, they've been, of course, streamlining their operations. They recently closed their Nashville office and moved everything up to Canada, where they've decided to, where Anthem is located, and trying to running their tapings out of Ottawa. I think their main offices are in Toronto. But they did hire 2 new executives. The first being Scott D'Amore, and the second being Don Callis. For those of you that don't know, Scott D'Amore has actually been a part of TNA Impact since the beginning. He did have an on-camera role as Coach D'Amore, as the leader of Team Canada, but he has worked a lot behind the scenes, especially in talent development. He's run a wrestling school where he's trained several wrestlers, and so as far as talent development, he's a good guy to have. And for Don Callis, I'm sure a lot of people are not familiar with that name, but you might be more familiar with him in WWE as the Jackal and in ECW as Cyrus. I know he did show up in the later aughts, working in TNA. So he is familiar with the company, and of course he spent a lot of time, as an announcer and a manager, even a couple times performing. But both of these are good minds to have in the wrestling business. And no, it did not slip my thought that both of these gentlemen are Canadian. So it just really seems that they're really localizing Impact Wrestling as far as like it's the direction they want to go. Now with these hirings, I said there could be 2 executive releases. Those being of Big John Gobrick and unfortunately Dutch Mantel. Um, you know, as you know, John's Gobrick's has been part of Impact for quite some time. And he's been, it's been kind of shaky. Some of the things he's done and something, and so, but and of course, Dutch Mantel was brought in when Jarrett came in as part of the ongoing merger with Global Force that never happened. Dutch, of course, one of the great minds in the wrestling business, and of course, a very impassioned speech. When they switched it, once Anthem took over, and doing the whole "Make Impact Great" speech, it so it does. It just does seem like they're just trying to make it everything Canadian. They're making Impact Canadian. And speaking of, like I said, I did say they would get an update. And that is in regards to Laurel Van Ness. As I mentioned, Laurel Van Ness, or real name Chelsea Green, did request her release from the company. And it was said that WWE is interested in her. Of course, there is a huge, huge problem with this as, spoilers, they just put the Impact Women's Championship on her. And so, yeah. I think they did talk to Sanjay Dutt, who, not only being an in-ring talent, is also a booker for Impact Wrestling. They have to, of course, run its TV course, before they can really move forward with the release. So, as far as her release status, it's not at this time. So, but on another women's note, congratulations to Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks. For those of you that have heard and probably seen, for the WWE is doing a Mideast tour, and they were the first women to wrestle in the show in the United Arab Emirates at the live event in Abu Dhabi. Now, this, of course, did not come with, well, I wouldn't say it's a difficulty. It's just a bit of a, something you have to work with. As you know, as that area of the world is heavily Muslim and heavily into certain expectations of women, namely that they have to be covered. So these two ladies did have gear made that did cover them from head to toe. They don't have to wear anything to cover their hair, but they did have to be covered from head to toe. So I'm sure you can find pictures on WWE's Twitter or on either one of the ladies. But this is a big step in getting women's wrestling over on a big world stage. So kudos to them. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of The Guido Goes Off. As always, I thank you folks for watching. So, what do you think of the topics that I covered in this episode? Leave me something in the comments section below, and of course, you can always talk to me via my social media. And as always, like this video, share it with everyone you know, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do so. It really helps us out. Trying to get 100 by Mania. So, until next time, I'm the Guido, and I think we're done here.